Okay, so we just looked at solving systems of equations by graphing. So now we're going to look at solving systems by substitution. So the top of the notes, of course, is just showing us graphing again, so we don't really have to look at that. But let's look at A and B, the second A and B. Let's look at solving systems by substitution. So the way this works, we're given at least two equations. Again, that's what makes a system. So we've got y equals negative x plus 3 and y equals x plus 5. Substitution is going off the basis that once we have a variable solved for, we can substitute what that is equal to. So in this case, we have y equals negative x plus 3. And we can take what it is equal to, and we're going to substitute it into the second equation or the third equation anytime we come across that variable. Okay, so we're going to take what this y is equal to, so this negative x plus 3, we're going to plug it in for this y in our second equation. So when we do that, we now have negative x plus 3 is equal to, again, I replace that y with what this was equal to, x plus 5. Okay? So now I have a brand new equation, and I've essentially eliminated all my y's. They're no longer in the equation. I've replaced them with what they are equal to. I've substituted them in. Now I've got one equation with just one variable. I can solve for that variable. So if I bring my x's to one side, so subtract x over, and I move my constants to the other side, I now have a negative 2x on the left side is equal to 5 minus 3 is a positive 2. So then negative 2x is equal to 2, divide by negative 2, we get x is equal to negative 1. Okay. I now have one of my variables solved for. So I can take this variable and I can plug it back into either of the first two equations. I would choose the easier one. I don't want to deal with the negative. I'm just going to plug it into this bottom one. So then I'm going to get y equals, again, replace my x with what it is equal to. I'm substituting that in, so negative 1. Then I have that plus 5 left over. So then I'm going to add 5 and negative 1 together. We get y equals 4. So there's my other part. So here's my point that those two lines cross. At the point, negative 1, 4. Okay? So there's my answer. There's my substitution, or solving by substitution. Okay? So let's look at B. Y equals 2x plus 6, and y equals x plus 3. So again, in this case, both my variables are already solved for, or I have a y solved for. I can take one of these, whichever one I want, and I can take what it's equal to and substitute it in to the other equation. So I'm going to take 2x plus 6, and I'm going to plug it in for this y here. So I've got 2x plus 6, and the rest of the equation, I leave the same, equals x plus 3. Then I want to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract x over. I'm going to subtract my 6 over. So the 6's cancel out. 2x minus x leaves me with x. And I have 3 minus 6 equals negative 3. Again, once I have that, I can plug it back into either equation. This bottom one's easier, right? Just replacing that x with negative 3. So y equals negative 3 plus 3. So y equals 0. So the point where these two lines cross, or the solution to it, is at the point negative 3, 0. Okay. So solving by substitution makes sense. And so let's look at a few more examples on the back side. So if we look at E, right? In this case, one of our variables is already completely solved for us, right? On E, they're saying we have two equations, one of which is just y equals 2. So we know what y equals is equal to 2. We got 5x minus 6y is equal to negative 12. Because we already know what y is equal to, we can plug that directly in for this y. Right? So I'm going to have 5x minus 6. Again, I'm replacing or substituting that y in for what it's equal to. So I'm putting in a 2 in its place. It's equal to negative 12. So now again, I only have that x. I can solve my equation. So I'm going to get 5x minus 12 is equal to negative 12. Get my x by itself, I'm going to add 12 to both sides. So leave me with 5x is equal to 0. So I can divide by 5. 0 divided by any number other than 0 is still just 0. So x in this case equals 0. They already told me what y is equal to, so the point where these two lines cross is 0, 2. Let's pick out another one on the back page of the notes. What you'd like to do? C? Yeah. We have y equals 3x minus 30, and y equals negative x plus 14. So again, in this case, we have two y's solved for. We can essentially just set what they're equal to each other. And I'm substituting in 3x minus 30, so I've got 3x minus 30 is equal to negative x plus 14. So then I need to get my x's to one side, my variable or constants to the other. So add x, add 30 to the other side. So that is going to give me 4x is equal to 44. Divide by 4. Again, x is equal to 11. Again, we can take that value, plug it right back into either equation. In this case, I think the bottom equation would be a little bit easier. Y equals negative, plug it in my x, which is 11, plus 14. So what does negative 11 plus 14 get us? 3. There's the second half of our point. So these two lines cross, but the solution to this system of equations is 11, 3. Any questions on solving by substitution? So that's it for today.